Hello guys and welcome to a new Wargame Red Dragon video today by me Vulcan. You can see that we are in the new Red Dragon beta. I must stress that this is a beta video filmed during the beta, which I have had an early access to with special thanks to Gronank. Now, I've built a deck that I'm not sure how well it's going to go. It's just basically sort of a generic sort of NATO / Blue 4 deck, because NATO is now called Blue 4 because there is the inclusion of the New Zealand and Australia, which is one nation, and then you have Korea, and you also have Japan, that's South Korea, and North Korea is on the Red 4 side. So I will be using some Japanese and some South Korean units. I tried to sort of mix it about a bit and try and add some new units, which I wasn't too sure about. But I also decided to try and keep in some units that were good, that I knew were good from air-land battle. So I'm not sure how well this is going to go. Please bear with me. This is a live gameplay, and I just wanted to make sure that I get you some footage of this game as quickly as possible. So whether I do well or not is really up to how good I play, and you can watch me play. So this is the map. I have no idea what it's called, but it does look very big. There isn't much use for boats and such, but there is amphibious sort of assaults that you could do across these rivers instead of having to use the bridges. Now in this particular game there isn't going to be ships as such. Some maps have big sea borders with like sea landings and stuff where you can bring in big ships. Others do not. This is one that does not. It was the first game I jumped into. This is the first game I've ever played. So I better get some units down before the game starts. Either way, let's get some Challenger Mark 1 or Challenger 1 Mark 3s on the field. These are the highest AP powered tanks that you can get on the NATO side, I believe, without going prototype. So we're going to get a couple of Challenger 1 Mark 3s. I'm going to go for a simple strategy here, and we're going to pick up some FRP Roland 3s, which are the now upgrades, because Wargame Red Dragon is actually based at a later date. Let's get some recon quickly in the form of a couple of Rangers. We're also going to spread out a few infantry units at the start, if I can. Don't have time. Okay, never mind. We will quickly move towards hotel. Not sure what my team's planning on doing. You can see the unit view in the bottom left. That's pretty cool, but I'm going to minimize that. And I'm presuming Admiral is going to keep his CV here, so I'm actually going to move my CV up towards hotel, unless there is another one somewhere around here. Now, I'm not too familiar with the new layout of unit cards, so I might have to change that through the game, because I'm used to the old European escalation name tags. And it's okay when they're all like this and they're sort of a bit spread out, but when they're right next to each other like this, you can't tell what units you have without zooming right in, which can get really annoying. Either way, let's get the men up quickly. We're going to get this Cobra to go stop those KA-29 TBs. And I'm also going to bring in a couple of Celtics as well to shoot those down. Then we're going to bring up some US Marines and Twin Hueys. And we're going to get some Fusiliers in Lynx AH-1s. Now, ideally, I would have brought in these helicopters at the beginning of the game, and I would have already got to Delta before him, and the Celtics would have already shot them down. So we're going to get the AH-1J Cobra into range so it can use its grenade launcher. But it doesn't look like that's going to work, as the infantry managed to get out before I could shoot down their helicopters. That's unfortunate. Now let's hide my Fufu. And we'll see what we can do over here. So, looks like we can actually get the majority of our units actually up on these hills, which is kind of strange. Didn't really think you'd be able to do that, but apparently you can. Anyway, I'm going to swing my Celtics round to the left side of Delta. We've got some rocket artillery coming here, which looks very, very effective. managing to stun our M1A2 Abrams, light riflemen and so on. We got some 2 Su-27Ss coming and circling at the back line. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get my Celtics in range to fire at these Mi-8s. Shot down 2 of them. See if we can follow that up. It looks like these Celtics can fire on the move. So if I can get behind the lines, maybe I can shoot them down. There we go, we get some nice kills there. Keep my units flying towards the planes, but it looks like both of them just got shot down by AA units there. And we're going to swing our Lynx AH-1s around the left side of this town and try and flank into it, while my Challenger 1s push up from the front. Now the Flak Panzer Gepard actually sounds really awesome, which is pretty cool. Right, let's get the Lynx AH-1s round, and then we're going to unload them. Now I don't know what was going on there, but it looks like planes now have flares, which is awesome. Now let's try and get these Lynx AH-1s down before they die. And then move them into a building where they can actually fire onto the Gronostroki in the area. Okay, so we've managed to pepper them down a little bit. We're going to get our twin Hueys into the air. Need to get my Rolands round to the left, so we're going to do that. We're currently being attacked by what looks like siege missiles though. Very, very hectic at the moment. My Hueys and, well, my US Marines being annihilated by the twin Hueys. Hopefully though, I can get my Fusiliers into these buildings before they die. Let's get these Lynx AH-1s out of the way. We need to start to think about bringing up some resupply. So I'm going to bring in some CH-47Cs, which are basically Super Chinooks, but they're owned by the Korean Army. Hopefully we can take control of Delta soon. It looks like I've lost my CV in Hotel due to the rampage of air units that are around. So let's bring in some of our own, because at the moment it looks like we are struggling to hold the skies. Okay, let's take down these Chengdus. And we shall evac the Mirages towards our lines. So they drop their flares and it looks like they get away fine, which is nice. Unfortunately, my units have been all but destroyed now. Hopefully this Roland 2 will manage to shoot down the KA-29TB. Fortunately not. Let's reverse that up. Now I don't want to leave my Challenger 1 out in the open like I have done with my other one, and now it's dead. So we shall think about reinforcing with more men now. I'm going to bring up a couple of PALR Milan 2s in Fuchs Milans, and they can occupy the buildings here, while I'm going to get more Fusilier in Lynx AH-1s to secure Delta. Then what we're going to do is bring in more AA, because it looks like most of it's being destroyed. So we're going to bring in one Roland 3 and a Flak Panzer Gepard. I've lost a lot of points from the original push, which is unfortunate. But hopefully we will be able to bring it back. Now they have changed the reverse button, which is a pain in the ass. R is now regroup instead of reverse. So I'm going to have to possibly change that in the options, because that was a habit that I have. Let's quickly have a look at the controls for reverse order. Reverse is now G, okay. Bit of a strange hotkey choice there. I much preferred it on R, and regroup would be on G. That surely would make sense. G for group. I'm actually going to change that because that's annoying me. So just quickly going into the options here, and we shall switch those round. Okay. Awesome. So we've got our CH-47Cs landing. I'm actually going to lift them up because they are being artied. But it looks like it already decided to blow up, which is unfortunate. Now both of those just got blown up by one MiG-25BM. I really need to keep my Mirages in the air as much as possible, otherwise this is going to keep happening. Now this KA Akula is shooting down my Lynx AH-1s. I'm going to have to deal with that. It's also firing at my Challenger 1 Mark III, and that is dead already. So, time to bring in another Celtic, I think, to shoot that down. And we can bring in some tank support in the form of Leopard 1A5s. So I'm going to get these Rangers to move up to these buildings here. Now most of the buildings in this game are going to be of Oriental origin, so you can see that if we zoom into the towns they're all sort of that kind of design. Although most of them in this area have been flattened. So I've split my Fuchs Milan and I left the Milan teams in that building. We'll wait for our reinforcements to arrive before we make a push onto Delta. So this KA Akula is going to be sitting at the back until it's needed, which is annoying, but we're not exactly going to be able to get around there with the Celtics, so I'm going to keep the Celtics on the mountain for now. Now sorry if I'm not playing at my greatest, but I am trying to obviously commentate while doing this, and I'm trying to show you as much about the game as possible. So you can see that there is a huge amount of air in this game compared to what there was previously. Like, yeah, people used to spam air in the old game, but it looks like having air superiority is a big deal in Red Dragon. Especially considering airplanes in Red Dragon can actually destroy your naval vessels when there are maps that have obviously the sea in them. Now one of my Lynx AH-1s got shot down by the Su-27s, which is annoying, so we're going to have to bring in a couple more of those. And we'll get these Gazelle Celtics to move forwards to take out the Mi-8Ts. Now maybe I can shoot them down before they drop off their forces, but unlikely, as we are playing against some very good players in this particular match. There we go, firing the Mistrals off. Maybe we can shoot them down. A huge bomb strike or something there managed to absolutely annihilate basically everything in the area, which is insane. And we're going to have to bring up another command vehicle. Now I only have 4 on this deck. I probably should have thought about bringing up more. But hopefully it will be enough for now. So I'm going to send my Celtics back to base now because they're low on ammo, and we're going to shift-click land so that they land when they get there. We're going to move our flak panzer further up. And we're going to get our Lynx AH-1s ready to support the push from these LV TP-7A1s, which I think are the amphibious assault vehicles. Yes, they are. Okay, so let's move up my Roland a little bit so it can help out with any of these air attacks that are occurring, because they are just out of range at the moment. Looks like the IL-102 has got into range though. Maybe we can shoot that down before it gets away, but unfortunately not. So, in terms of my own air capabilities right now, I've got 2 Kyokos, which are basically sabers, I think, refitted with napalm bombs and made into Japanese aircraft. I'm going to use a couple of these to fire position on this town so that we can get rid of the presence here. Because currently I'm driving blind into lots of HGMs and they are popping my Leopard 1A5s, no problem whatsoever. That's like 70 points apiece there, and those HGMs are very, very powerful. I have no idea what they are. We're dropping our napalm. Hopefully the Kyoka can get out. Looks like both of them will survive, just about. And the napalm shall burn away. Now I do have recon here, but we just can't see exactly what's in this town without getting very close to it, which is really annoying because it's a very open field and their defensive position is much stronger than ours. So the only other thing that I can think of doing at this point is possibly getting more infantry to fly around the edge of the map. So we do have light riflemen in Hueys, so let's grab some of these with some Marines in twin Hueys, and we shall support them with a Super Cobra, and that is all I can afford. So we're going to use that little task force. We're going to try and see what we can do about getting round to Charlie. Not sure if they will see us coming or not, but I will hopefully save quickly for a AH-1J Cobra, which is the recon helicopter that we can buy, and use that to provide any information I need. So we are being pressed heavily on the right. Looks like is trying to stand up against those tanks with Commando Marines. And these are T-90Ss. These are the new Russian tanks that you can get. I think top of the line. And then we have Snowin with his M1 IP Abrams, who's not going to stand a chance against the AP power of those cannons. It's a shame that they changed all the hotkeys, because I was just about to press I over that, but I can't seem to look at the unit specifications without checking the controls again. So let's quickly jump into the controls. We shall zoom down and have a look. Unit information is apparently still I, which is annoying. So if we click on that, you have to click on it first. So they've got 22 front armor, and they also have an AP power of 22 on their main cannon. That's one more than my Challenger 1 Mark IIIs. So that's actually the highest out of all of the ones I know. But Lynx AH1s, we're also going to have to support this push with some air as well. So I've only got a Hornet left and a Weasel left for anti-air, really. Although both of them aren't ideal. We can bring in the Mirage to help out. But what I think I might do is just try and fly these Hueys and such all the way around the edge of the map, and we'll hit like Alpha or Bravo or something. Just completely surprise them if we can. But I'm not sure how well it's going to work. Now, unfortunately, we are waiting for to sort out his ping, which is kind of annoying. He might have DC'd or something, but nope, just looks like he's running slow, which is kind of annoying. We have now got control of Hotel, although my Fuchs is not in the best position. Now I'm going to drive behind this building here to reduce the line of sight onto that particular vehicle. But all of my other AA and such are invisible to the enemy at the moment. Okay, let's bring over the Lynx AH1s as well, because they can help out on the left. And I'm also going to get a Wild Weasel, actually. Swing it right out to the left. And they did just bomb this area again, taking out my Roland 3 and another one of my CVs, which is really frustrating. I don't know if that's artillery or an aircraft. I don't think it's an aircraft. It looks like artillery. Either way, going to fly the Wild Weasel up the side of the map here. And we're going to swing out all of my Cobras and such as far left as possible. So the Wild Weasel's coming round. Shoot. Looks like infrared AA, and the Wild Weasel's dead. So there's plenty of AA in that area, which is really annoying. Hopefully it won't be in range to shoot down all of these helicopters. But we'll find out soon enough, as I'm going to send my Cobra to fly up ahead of the rest. I'm going to keep the Super Cobra near the back, because that's the most expensive unit. And we'll see how far we get with this attack. Now, it would be really cool if this works, but I'm not holding out any hopes. If this AH-1J Cobra gets shot down, I'm going to turn back the rest. Simple as that. And they got 3 Su-27Ss here, which is horrible, because if they spot my entire force, yep, they're in range. Alright, we're going to have to turn back this entire force and try somewhere else, which is really frustrating. Looks like they have themselves covered on that side. And we could really do with some like heavy bombers or something, to just bomb this forest, and then we might be able to get our troops through. But they've managed to get a CV up into Delta now, and we don't have a CV in Hotel anymore. I can bring another one up, but it probably suffer the same fate as the last two. Now, what else can we do? Trying to think of a way in which we can attack Delta with all this mobile infantry. Possibly we could go back to the tank strategy and try and push in, but then the HGMs would blow them up. We could go in with US Marines on foot and see how well they do, and then support them with Zippos. Let's try that. So we'll bring in some Zippos, and they will get sniped by HGMs, but if I have enough of them with some maybe heavy hog support, we might be able to do something. Now we do need recon as well, so gonna bring in a Rover Pinky, which is exceptional recon. Hopefully we'll spot the infantry in those buildings pretty early on, and we can get these rest of the US Marines in. So let's get all the men on the ground over here, and we will make a large dash across the Delta. Super Cobra can sit on the hill to the right. That's not exactly going to come in handy at the moment unless I spot any heavy armor. Might possibly send it over to the right to help out with Snowin and if they need it. But for the meantime, we can just drop off these Hueys and Lynx AH1s. Probably not the best strategy. Some of you guys are probably thinking, what are you doing? But it's something I'm going to try. I do have napalm as well, ready to go if I need it. So, these lot are now all going to start to run across the field, because they are going to take a while to get there. So we'll pick up all the Hueys and the twin Hueys and the Lynxes, get them out of the way so I can actually see what's going on. We need to spread out this infantry a bit more, because otherwise they are all going to die. Right, let's spread them out. Really annoying that all of the portrait things keep switching around. We got our heavy hogs ready. We've got our backup US Marines there. We've got our Kyokos. We're going to bring those in, sit at the back. We'll wait for the Zippos to catch up, and then we'll make a mad dash across the field. So we're going to fire position onto their positions now. Kyokos, attack! We're going to lose one of them there, it looks like. The second one might get away. Will the third one? Who knows? Looks like it will. Just about. Okay.
What can the infantry do for you, sir?
So wait for these Zippos. We shall split them. And we shall spread them out. Right, let's start these guys pushing across. Unfortunately, we have incoming in terms of KA-52s. My AA is just being destroyed though, and we are left in the open. So let's get the Super Cobra forwards, unless Snowin's OH-58s can deal with it. They can, and that's going to crash into the field. Bravo. So go on, infantry. While the napalm's there, we can make our advance. We're going to push up the Zippos behind the lines, and they can flame anything that survived.
Sir, yes, sir. Need a tank blown, sir?
Okay, Now that's probably going to get RT'd to hell. We will find out soon enough. As our infantry engages, I managed to get one of my US Marines into their buildings. We're going to basically try and get the men into their compounds so that we can fight them at close combat. We're going to use the twin Hueys to provide support if they can. Looks like they won't be able to because they're going to get shot down. And in the meantime, we'll continue pushing up the rest of the forces. We've got some artillery coming in. We're going to bring in a Kyoko to napalm this sector, while the rest fight it out elsewhere. Going to bring in a Mirage just to hold the air, and we can afford a Hornet, possibly a Wild Weasel to try and take out their AA. They're doing reasonably well, considering their defensive position. Going to move these US Marines across into this building with the Gronos. And we unfortunately aren't going to get anything with the Wild Weasel. Now if we can RT this AA, and I will be able to use my Hornet to get a couple of T-64 kills. Looks like we managed to get one, and hopefully with the flares we should get out of there. No, he died. He died trying. Time for an Apache. We'll bring up another Challenger 1 Mark 1, go a bit heavy for a last final push, because we've lost complete momentum in the center here. It's a real shame. I thought that went reasonably well with the massive napalm screen at the start. Bring in my Kyoko. Got all these planes and Hueys and Lynxes here. Bring up our Super Cobra, see if we can try and shoot down some of these Mi-24 VPs. A massive dump of infrared AA though in that area now, which is why I should probably not go anywhere near it with my Apache. We'll get these Lynxes and Hueys to fly around the left to provide some sort of threat. They can shoot the recon infantry while they're going. Quick sort of drive-by there. Got no more CVs to put in hotels, so we're no longer going to control that even if I wanted to. We are making progress around the right side, but it looks like we lost the day. I got destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. 985 kills to 3,165 losses. I have no idea what's OP, but it looks like TATU does. And I will probably have to watch the replay and see exactly what was going on. Either way, it was an interesting first look at Wargame Red Dragon. Very chaotic. Didn't quite grasp what was going on towards the start of the game. Kind of went for a generic Wargame land battle strategy, which obviously didn't work. So it looks like I'm going to have to spend a lot of time in the armory before I bring out any tutorials. So, either way, I really hope you guys enjoyed the first look at Wargame Red Dragon on my channel. Please excuse the poor gameplay, but it did show off some of the new units and some of the ways in which you can get annihilated very, very easily. Either way, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.